What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool Southampton League Cup post-match reaction and analysis video. The game ended very late yesterday, so I thought let's do this video this morning. And what a first goal for Alexander Isak. He is off the mark for Liverpool and there are so many talking points in the game. Federico Chiesa had the best game in his Liverpool career. He was absolutely outstanding. His work rate, his game intelligence and his unselfishness. It was just a stupendous, magnificent performance by Chiesa, and he was the man of the match, getting 2 assists against Southampton. But some senior players didn't cover themselves in glory. We will talk about them a little bit later. But who impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments below. I was most impressed by Chiesa, of course, and Ekitike once again scored another brilliant goal. He now has 5 goals in his Liverpool career already in September. But he overshadowed that by losing his head a little bit, being petulant at the referee. By the way, the referee should have given a foul against the Southampton defender. They were both holding each other, but the referee gives a foul against Ekitike to Southampton, and Ekitike got really angry and he punched the ball, and you always get a yellow card for that any day of the week. That wasn't a big problem. The big problem was Ekitike either forgot that he had a yellow card or he was just too much in the moment when he scored, and he took off his shirt, and I was like, what are you doing? And Jeremy Frimpong and a lot of other players went to Ekitike saying like, what are you doing, bro? You are already on a yellow card and you take your shirt off, you are gonna get sent off. So now Ekitike will be suspended against Crystal Palace, which is not ideal because he is our most informed striker. But you know, Isak starting a £125 million footballer is not too bad of an option. And of course, Chiesa can play up front as well. But yeah, Ekitike will learn from this. He's still just a young player, 23 years old, and he was a little bit too hot-headed. Maybe he should do the Bobby Firmino like fake taking your shirt off celebration. that would be, I think, class if he did that when he comes back. The one thing that really overshadowed performance wasn't even the Ekitike red card. It was Leone's injury, because I thought Leone showed a lot of maturity. He put in a flawless performance before injuring his knee, and I really hope it's not a serious ACL injury, and I really hope his season is not over, because that would be absolutely terrible for the young defender. And by the way, Southampton had their chances. They hit the bar and then he missed an absolute sitter just a minute before Alexander Isak scored his opening goal. And by the way, Alexander Isak should have scored in the first minute, because he wriggled his way free of the defenders, and then he shoots, but the goalkeeper saved it. But then, you know, before half-time, as I said, Southampton had a huge chance. Armstrong was through on goal. He chipped Mamadashvili, who had a really good game. He had like 1 misplaced pass. Otherwise, Mamadashvili's performance was terrific. It's so good to have 2 world-class goalkeepers at Liverpool. That's such a brilliant position. But then, you know, Armstrong chips the keeper. It hits the bar, it comes back out, and then another Southampton player basically has an open goal and he heads it wide, which was just shocking, a shocking miss by Southampton. And 1 minute later, that's how football is, 1 minute later, Isak scores after Federico Chiesa from a loose pass from the Southampton goalkeeper McCarthy. He's a very experienced player. What is he thinking? Passing it to his fullback, where Chiesa was lurking close to him, and Chiesa latches onto the ball, very aggressive, and straight away after taking a touch, he passes it across goal to Alexander Isak, who first time slots it home coolly, calmly, curling it around the keeper. Beautiful, brilliant finish, and that's what you get from Isak. Absolutely clinical. And he could have scored another goal. You know, after 1-0, Chiesa scored a brilliant goal into the top corner, but he was a mile offside. And then the disaster struck, 76th minute. Endo, who had a pretty okay performance, he sees Jadon Dance coming in and he ducks his head instead of heading it. It was such a clear header. If he heads it, he clears it, the ball goes away and probably Liverpool win the game 1-0. But it hits his the back of the head of Endo. I'm just watching the highlights on my monitor. It hits Endo on the back of the head, the ball, and it ricochets just into the path of the Southampton players, and Leon Charles or something Charles, his name is. He slots it home past the goalkeeper. Such an easy finish. And then, Ekitike had a header which just went wide. But then, Chiesa was so unselfish after going through on goal. Instead of scoring, he passes it to Ekitike. And Ekitike, Arne Slot mentioned this in his post-match interview. Ekitike should have been pointing to Chiesa. This goal is all about you. Instead, he celebrated like he scored in the Champions League final, taking his shirt off, holding it up like it's a Messi celebration. And yes, we know Ekitike is a brilliant player. And he's had a fantastic start, but this was out of the Darwin Nunez, playbook, getting sent off for a crazy celebration. And Chiesa was so impressive still. But Ekitike, moment of madness, taking your shirt off. I mean, the rule is stupid that you score another late winner for Liverpool, and you take your shirt off because you get too excited. Why is that a yellow card? Who does it hurt that a player is taking his shirt off? I don't understand. The referee should have shown a little bit more leniency, I think, a little bit more common sense. But the referees are obliged to give yellow cards for these kind of celebrations where you take your shirt off, where you jump into the crowd. And Arne Slot was not impressed. The memes are already coming out with Arne Slot's face, being angry when he sees Ekitike getting sent off for such a stupid reason. Getting angry at the referee, punching the ball and taking your shirt off. There are not much more stupid red cards than that. You know what would have been even more stupid? Imagine if the linesman disallows the Ekitike goal for offside. And you don't get the red card rescinded then. You still get the red card for taking your shirt off, even if the goal doesn't count. That would have been absolutely nightmare scenario. So I don't understand. Ekitike was, he probably either forgot or in the heat of the moment, he just wasn't thinking. The bottom line is Ekitike is suspended for the Crystal Palace game, which is a shame, and I'm still drooling over Chiesa's performance. He had a run in the 90th minute where he nutmegs the Southampton defender, taking on two players, and then he shoots, but the goalkeeper saved it. And I really hope that Chiesa gets more minutes, because I absolutely love him as a player. Chiesa is such a hardworking, talented individual, and it shows how strong the Liverpool squad is, that Chiesa sometimes can't even get into the squad, never mind the starting 11. But now that Chiesa looks fitter, sharper, much better than in the first season, I think he's ready to play more minutes, and he should be Gakpo's replacement on the left wing. And Gakpo so far has had very inconsistent performances. So I would actually have an argument that you could start Chiesa in some games on the left wing instead of Gakpo. And yes, Ekitike and Isak can rotate on the right wing, on up front. Salah would play on the right wing most of the time. But Chiesa is a great option on the left wing, because I think he has all the attributes needed to play that position. And yeah, let me know what do you think about this madness of an Ekitike red card. The most important thing is Liverpool are once again through to the 4th round of the League Cup. Liverpool have made the League Cup final 3 times in the last 4 years. So I hope we can make it another one this season and win the League Cup, because Liverpool want to win every trophy and we have the squad to do it. And I just hope and pray that Leone's injury is not too serious and he will only be out for maybe 1 or 2 months and not 7 or 8 months. But that's it for me, and I will post a regular Liverpool Career Mode episode later today. I will be starting recording very soon for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.